Back here, a Superior boy accused of shooting at Douglas County deputies last year was set to appear in adult court today. Northern News Now's Sydney Whitty joins us in studio this afternoon with more on what unfolded during that court hearing this morning. Sydney?
Yes, Briggs, I sat inside the Douglas County courtroom where Carsen Peterson was scheduled to attend his arraignment at 9 a.m. this morning, but he did not attend in person or via Zoom. So once the hearing began, the judge asked Peterson's attorneys who appeared in person for clarification on why the 14-year-old did not appear. One of his attorneys said Peterson was transferring facilities and was not able to attend today's hearing. Peterson faces multiple felony charges, including attempted first-degree intentional homicide. And you may remember on the evening of May 6th, authorities responded to a home on Highway 35 in the town of Superior. Court documents say Peterson's grandmother called law enforcement on her grandson because he was yelling, throwing things, and had used gas to start a fire next to a tree. The 13-year-old at the time then went into the home and came out with a long gun shooting at deputies. Luckily, no one was hurt, and Peterson was arrested. Now, we asked both attorneys for clarification on where Peterson was being held and where he is being transferred to, but we were told no comment. Peterson's hearing has been rescheduled to Monday, January 26th at 10:30 a.m. In studio, Sydney Whitty, Northern News Now.
All right.